Good evening, Plum here, playing World of Tanks. Although I am not playing World of Tanks, I'm going to show you some of my intro videos that failed to pass the Plum grade, and there's a few of them. They may well make you chuckle or laugh, so I'm quite happy to share them because they kind of show you the insight into my mind of what I tried to achieve with this intro video. You can realise how important the intro video is for sort of setting a tone for your style of presentation on your channel. Obviously in the end, with what I have used, I'm really happy with that, and loads of positive feedback, so thank you so much for all the positive comments about it. That's really encouraging. So what did I try first of all? First of all, I tried to I'll show you it first, and while it's playing I'll tell you about it. This is a piece of cardboard, and this is just a dummy run. It really is a crude, will this work? And I had these letters lined up saying World of Tanks, and I'm racking the bottom of the board with my fingers to make it shake and having the light move across the background. That was intended just to see how it looked as a concept. What I wanted to do was then cover this board in debris and rubbish and all kinds of minutiae, and then make up little letters that look like little pieces of, like they've been cut out from steel, which have been very labour intensive. And then with some more exciting lighting effects, probably enlisting the help of a few friends to do that, make it look like a war scene almost, and in the background you'd hear a rumbling of a tank approach, and as it got really close and really loud, that's when all the ground would start shaking and the letters would fall over, and then the tank would pass and the sound would fade. Probably have a nice voiceover saying World of Tanks with Plum, and a puff of smoke at the end. I don't know. That didn't. I just thought it'd be too labour intensive to do all that, and in the end I probably could have done that in the amount of time I spent doing the intro videos that you're going to see, and the one I finally did in the end. What did I do next? I might even try and do that one again at some point because I think it's got real potential. Next up was my flying tank. I've got a nice little model. It's a Hobby Masters model. It's very small. I think it's 1/72 scale. So it fits in the palm of your hand, of a Centurion 7/1, and it's very detailed. You can get quite close to it and it looks really good. So I suspended it from the bottom of my camera with a couple of pieces of thread, and I wanted to make it look like it was flying, just to give it an effect. I wanted to have it up in the sky, as pigs might fly sort of thing, and couldn't do that. It just kept falling off. It's just utterly stupid. So I had to do it hanging down, let gravity do the work, and this is over grass. Here's a clip of that, and they only last a couple of seconds, the clips, but I was just trying to get just maybe a 1 second moment where the tank is really neutrally just moving cleanly across the frame, really smoothly, so there's no wobble, which is really difficult. Spinning around on the spot seemed to induce that, and then I slowed it down and put a couple of lighting effects on the video, and it didn't look bad, but it wasn't doing it. So then I decided to try a spinning tank instead, which didn't work at all. It just looked a bit silly, to be honest. Even when you slowed it down, yeah, it had something going on I suppose, but it wasn't. I couldn't really think of a way to put the text around it and other things that needed to happen around that. Not sure what music to put over that. It just didn't work. Then I started my epic, what I thought was going to be my masterpiece. I built a garage out of cardboard and strips of card, and I hole punched these strips of card. I'll bring this video up now, zooming in on the garage, and it had my little Centurion tank in it. It's the only decent model tank I've got, and I cut slots in all the sides, and I was waving these torches around the side to try and get funky lighting effects, and one of them looks like a disco, a bit silly. And I also put inside the garage some icing sugar. Just put some icing sugar in your hand, whack it together, just clap, and you get a really fine mist of particles kick up in this contained space, and one of those looked pretty good actually. I was quite pleased with how that looked, but ultimately it was just too static, even with all the flashing lights and everything. It looked pretty good when you slowed it down. I was quite happy when you slowed it down, but ultimately too static. It just wasn't really doing it There it was. And then there's another one. This is probably the alien strobe as they scan the tank. And then one with the disco lights. Now I could have put Saturday Night Fever over the top of that. Welcome to the disco. So none of those really. I really tried to make that work. I got lots of video of that and nothing pops out and says, yeah, use me. Even editing it together, it just did not do anything at all. So after that, what did I do next? This is all chronological. Oh, I took the tank out for a day out. I thought I'll film the tank on a day out around near where I live in England and try and make it like a fish out of water. So here he is in my car, Sunday drive, been taken for a drive, and we went to a railway, a restored railway, bit of a visitor attraction, and the train arrives. There's a little tank enjoying himself immensely, and there he is sat on the train. There's other footage of him having a cup of tea, having some lunch. It's really silly, but editing it together really quickly probably requires a bit more skill than I've got to do it really well, and that was quite a high concept, I think. Excuse me. It needed you know, really good soundtrack over it, and ultimately I just didn't think it was going the right place for me. So then I did edit a little bit of it together, which looks, yeah, I like this bit where the foot comes crashing down. That's me moving across. There's a little baby that it's going to shoot its gun at. That's probably the best bit actually, when it rolls in, being pushed by a human hand and then turning its turret to face the enemy, the threat. There's still something in that idea, I think, but nope, didn't really do it. So then I came up with getting close now to what I actually finally did, which is the computer animation. This is a little sketch, very crude. Can't underestimate how crude this sketch is. Really totally freehand, not even caring what it looks like really. I just wanted to see how drawing on Photoshop and recording it at the same time would look speeded up. So very crudely just drew a figure. That's supposed to be me, and then my computer and desk, and then this tank just falls out the sky from a nice sound effect, smashes my computer to pieces, and then I'll you know, casually glance at it and then give it a kick and send it spinning off into oblivion. Yeah. Ultimately it didn't end up like that. It ended up like this. Now this is the final version of the video I use as my intro, but this one isn't quite as fast. This takes 50 seconds to draw the tank and the shell coming in. So I think I draw it in about 4 or 5 seconds on the actual intro video. So this is quite a lot slower. It's still quick. If you watch it now, that's just blocking in and then doing more detail. It just builds up very slowly. That took about 50 minutes to draw the tank, and then about another 40 minutes to do the shell. The shell is completely freehand, but the tank I am tracing that over a picture of a tiger. Sorry to shatter any illusions. I'm not that good. I probably could do that, but it would take me about 3 hours, 4 hours to draw a tank that carefully from just copying a picture. I don't know, I traced it. I have a tablet with a pen, and not like a tablet you browse the internet on, a proper drawing tablet, and just stuck the picture on it and traced around it for the first half of that drawing, and then towards the end I am just excuse me, colouring it in basically however I wanted to. So that's the insight into the behind the scenes of my intro video. Far more time consuming than you perhaps imagine doing it yourself like that. I'm a bit of a fan of doing things that kind of way, you know, with my hands rather than using computer programs to do things. So I will definitely play again soon. Keep your heads down, drink plenty of water, and take care. Bye bye.